What's going on, everybody? This is Hunter. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to take you on a tour of one of the RV industry's most popular floor plans. The design on this is absolutely fantastic for someone that's got, some kids that needs to get moving and grooving. But what Alta has done to this with their washer and dryer prep and where it is located is extremely interesting. I think you guys are going to really like it. This is the 2025 Alta 3150KBH, and that is going to stand for Bunk House. You got 3 bunks in the back. Absolutely fantastic, but it's also going to feature an extremely large outdoor kitchen with a TV, a big old refrigerator, and of course a pull-out griddle, so that way you guys can do some grilling. But I think you guys are going to really like it. If you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button, or take a moment and just say hello. Both of those help me out tremendously, so I would appreciate that. Quite a bit. But all the specifications, things like length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes, will be down in the description, along with a link for Funtown RV where you can access some pricing and locations of this unit. But let's go ahead and get on into the inside, and then we'll work our way around back on the outside, and we'll show off that outdoor kitchen. So definitely stay tuned to that. But I'll also put some chapters down there so you can kind of skip along. But again, 2025 East to West Alta 3150 KBH. If you're not familiar with the Alta, by the way, it is an extremely well-built unit. You have the Asdale sidewalls, the extreme climate guard. So it's going to be one of those travel trailers that just feel a little bit more residential. You have a slide for all your seating. You got the elbow style kitchen over here kind of tucked in the corner with an extendable countertop. And then of course, your entertainment with your fireplace and, your king bed. I mean, who doesn't want a king bed in the camper? And I know I sure do, because I got a couple extra LBskis to me, and me and the lady like to branch out a little bit. But the first thing that I want to show you is this front closet. You have adjustable shelves, or you can, put in like some hanging items, things of that nature. But you're also going to have washer and dryer prep. So this is really good for someone that might be spending a little bit more time in this and needs the washer and dryer. Notice how it's not in the bedroom either, or in the bunk room. So it's a good little spot, so at night you can let it run, or you can use this for, whatever function that you might have. I just think that is such a nice, refreshing kind of option for this floor plan. They did switch over in 2025 to that blade lighting, so I personally really like the blade lighting. You're also going to have over on the control panel for all the slides and awnings, all your tanks and everything like that. You can kind of check right there. But you also have a dimmer, so maybe you and Honey Buns are snuggling up on the old couch right there. That's a pull-out, by the way, one of those easy lift ones. You just grab right there and just whoop, bloop, you drop down. Perfect place for maybe somebody that doesn't want to sleep in the bunk room. And then, obviously, as we kind of went through the first time, you got the dinette right there, which is got the one pole. You can drop it down for some additional sleeping. You're also going to get plywood drawers that are on the rollers, which is nice. Those actually go out a pretty good depth. I mean, I like that. Also, they do a good job with the dinette too. I'll show you this. They do a good job with using a little bit of a deeper dinette. So if you're a little bit bigger like myself, you have plenty of moving and grooving room. Plus, they get absolutely massive windows on this. So I like that for a good view, because they're using about 5'10" height for the slide height, which is nice. And again, the accent lighting there too, just to kind of repoint that out. But the windows are going to be the panoramic style. But the nice thing that Alta is doing is they each and every single one of them, it does open up as well. So you can get a really nice cross breeze. They're all going to be tinted, and they each feature the old Dracula shade, baby. Stop the skin from sizzling, keep some nosy eyes out. Directly across from your kind of your sofa area is going to be your TV. Now this is a TV with the attitude, baby. But it is going to be a smart TV, so that way, you can do your YouTube TV, your Netflix, all of that on the road. This also comes pre-prepped for Wi-Fi, if you would like. Furrion soundbar to get it nice and bumping. You're also going to get, things like the HDMI, the USB, zone 1 and 2. So that's going to be inside and outside, so you can rock on both sides. And then, of course, the aux cord. A lot of people aren't using the aux cord anymore, but it does have it available. Fireplace to keep you nice and roasting and toasty, and a heat vent right below that too as well. You're going to notice those kind of scattered throughout. No vents in the floor on the Alta. No carpet in the slides either. A lot of them aren't coming with the carpet, but I like how it doesn't have the vinyl woven material. I just think it's a nice look just to go from floor to floor. It's also flush mount and 5/8 tongue and groove for the slide out as well. 81 inches of interior head height, and you also have a 5-inch vacuum bonded roof. So basically what that means, A little bit cooler in the summer, a little bit warmer in the winter. You have solar up on top on this one. I believe that is optional, so you'll want to make sure if it's something that you want. But if it doesn't have it, it is pre-prepped for the 200 watts, but you can link up to 400. So you get a little versatility there. But this is the 12-volt refrigerator. That'll run off the solar, you know, your battery, your truck when you're driving down the road, all that kind of good stuff. But it's also pretty darn big. I mean, heck, you know, it definitely wouldn't be a week's worth of food for my family. But, you know, for the right situation on a good weekend, I mean, heck, you got plenty of it there. You're also going to see you have the fuse box right below. And now we're back over into kind of the elbow style kitchen. Not my favorite style of kitchen, but I'll tell you, the way this is tucked away in disposition, I think it is really nice because it has the flip-up counter. And I like how the flip-up counter doesn't get in the way of anything. You notice it's not going to be one of those hip checkers. So I think that's a really good extra use of space. It's all going to be the thermofoil, which, babe, if you're watching, I love you. What's nice about that is there's going to be no seam, so nowhere for any type of water or anything like that to get in. If you know, if your kid's like a barbarian, just whoosh, 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 hitting those dishes from all angles. Stainless steel undermounted bowl, and of course, you got the cup cleaner. We do have a little bit of water in there too, but underneath the sink, you know, I like how you actually have a cutaway where you can put in, you know, a trash can if you would like. You're also going to see you have 4 pull-out drawers. The top one is going to have a place for your utensils. And then you have the 3 top burner to whip up all the fixings and enough room in the oven, you know, maybe for like a pizza or something of that nature. Big campside window. This one doesn't open up. That's pretty typical behind the oven there for you. And then you have the Greystone microwave, which is good for about a bag of popcorn or so. Nothing too crazy, but you see you got a couple different modes, including the old potato mode. Textured black glass. I think that's kind of cool. You kind of peel across there. Just kind of makes it look a little extra oomph. That sticker actually reminded me too. I mentioned the Asdale, but it's Asdale on the interior and exterior, which means it's on the outside of the wall and on the inside of the wall. So again, for, you know, any type of, it's just going to be a high standard to build, you know, for something like that. If water was to get in, the Asdale doesn't ever soak it up. So yeah, you know, that's pretty nice. So right over here, as you come along, actually, let me turn around here. You got the bunk room here heading into the back. But before you get to the bunk room, you have this little hallway where you're going to see the little octopus guys, you know, hang a hoodie on me. But then you also have separate entrance here, so that way you have easy access into the kitchen. Maybe you're cooking and need to, you know, come in and you know, wash your hands or something. You have the ability to do that. Porcelain foot flush throne. Let's see how it looks when you're sitting in there. It looks like it could be kind of tight, so it might not be the best spot for you. Yeah, I'll tell you, really not bad actually. It looks like it would be cozy, but when you sit down in there, and I'm pretty broad-shouldered, it actually works out pretty good. And while I got the camera this way, I might as well get into the corner radius shower. You guys know how I feel about these. But, again, let me see, angle that down. I mean, the corner radius showers, I don't know if they're getting bigger over the years. I used to absolutely detest them, but they seem to have gotten bigger. So, you know, I might not dislike them anymore. You can definitely move around. You know, it's not massive, but it's not taking up a ton of space either. And then for head height, I mean, you're looking at probably darn near 6'6", which is really nice. All right, so flipping this camera around, first thing you're going to see, big old bowling gun, baby. But you're also going to see a little bit of a medicine cabinet with a little lip. You got a friendly neighbor door right there, so if you want to, you know, leave that open, you can do what you want to do. You got a plumbed-in sink, outlets, and then, of course, you have plumbing right there as well. Which is going to come in handy. The tankless on-demand hot water heater, so that's going to be for, like it says right there on that sticker. East to west is good for their stickers. But you have the long hot shower. So basically, as long as you have propane, you have hot water too. Let me angle that camera down. Accent lighting, good time to show that too back there. I imagine at night it'd be pretty good for the kids just to leave the accent, maybe watch a movie or something. Another easy lift sofa. I mean, you can do it just even with your foot, as long as you remove those cushions. Box frame right here. I think they use the BAL cable-driven slide here for back here, but we'll have to check once we go outside. But you have a window, so that way you can see out, which obviously has the blackout shade right now. And this top bunk will flip up and latch in just like that. And it's spring-loaded over here, in case you were wondering. So then obviously you just pull it, and very one-handed friendly. You know, you are good to go. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Emergency exit here in the back. Not too much else to go over there, but pull, push, and plop. You can get out in a hurry. You got a little place for a TV here as well. So, you know, bring along your PlayStations and your Xboxes and all of that and keep your sanity on those rainy days. You also got the bunk over here. Can't complain about that. It's a good old twin bed, maybe just a hair bigger. Looks like something's underneath here. Yeah, you got a little ladder underneath there, and then another window, and then of course you got yourself a little bit of a skylight. If you would like, I believe you can install a second AC if you order it with the 50 amp coverage. However you got there. Maybe this one's already got it, but we'll have to double check. Either way, the AC is going to be a 15K AC. Bedroom on this bad boy is pretty darn snazzy. One, I like the fact that you have the 2 doors heading into it, but you're going to get a king size bed with more outlets that you could possibly need on both sides with USBs and universal Cs as well. You're also going to have some good storage here up underneath. So you have kind of an open space right there, and then you're going to have the pull-out drawer right there. So I mean, talk about a great spot for, you know, your boxers or socks or, you know, anything like that. Another emergency exit. So again, pull, push, and plop, get out in a hurry. TV backer and all the appropriate plugins over on this side. And then you're going to notice too, plenty of room for all of your hanging items. And then you have the 2 pull-out drawers. Plus you got yourself, you know, more overhead storage as well. But I mean, what do you guys think? Pretty darn awesome. This is definitely going to be a niched out camper, because it's not like there's too many utilizations unless you have kids. But I mean, maybe you could turn that back bunk room into an office. This is going to be great for a family. But again, it's the 2025 Alta 3150KBH. Now, all those specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes, will be down in the description. Thumbnail time, baby. But yeah, and a link for Funtown RV to access that pricing. So you have a fiberglass exterior, dual axle. It's got the Goodyear tires on it too, so they didn't cheapen out on that. But you are also going to have aluminum frame construction with a drop frame up front. And if you're not familiar with it, a drop frame is basically exactly as it says. Heated enclosed underbelly, by the way. But the frame just drops a little bit. And what that comes with is just a whole bunch of storage here as well. And they switched up the flooring. And I think this is the same one that's in the Rogue toy haulers, where it doesn't absorb type of like oil or something like that. Don't take my word for that. I mean, that's just kind of what I'm guessing, judging by the touch. Inverted outlets, so that'll run off of, you know, like the solar and things like that if you got an inverter and whatnot. You also have the Solera awning, so that'll run off of the solar as well. So it's going to be a 12-volt awning, and you can see that is fairly large. I'm going to guess about a 20-foot awning. But here up in the front, you're going to have a molded fiberglass front cap with the LED lights, and you got yourself a rock guard along with a power tongue jack, 2 20-pound propane bottles, and a place where you can put 2 batteries there as well. Both entrances have those solid, sturdy steps, those MORryde that go up into the doorway, and each door is going to feature a screen and a friction hinge door with 25-mile-per-hour winds. That's also the upgrade awning, the Solera 3000 series, too. Not that it really matters. I mean, most people don't even know the difference between them, but, you know, just a nicer awning. Little leash latch and an apple juice cracker. You also got yourself a little outlet right over here, and then the back end of that Furrion on-demand hot water heater. So for the tires, you're looking at the ST 225/75 R15, so 15-inch tires. The aluminum are going to be an upgraded option, and then your dual marine grade exterior speakers here as well. Now heading on to the back, you can see the size of this outdoor kitchen is just pretty darn handy. You got the LP Quick Connect. Let me see here. Where's the camera going? Right there, if you can see it, where that little tag's hanging off. That is for your gray stone, or if you want to bring, you know, your own grill with you, that would hook up and tie in right into the propane bottles. You also have your TV too. That's Attitude. It should be a smart TV as well. And then you got more inverted outlets, you know, 12-volt hookup, and then universal C and USB. A plumbed-in sink too, along with a place where you can put, you know, maybe a couple spatulas or paper plates or, you know, what have you. Look at that. I mean, you could fit yourself a 60 rack in that bad boy, no problemo. On to the back side, you have a spray port right there, but you're also going to get a bumper, you know, spare tire, a ladder with, I believe, a 300-pound weight rating. Let's go ahead and check on that to make sure I'm right. But you also have the backup camera prep there for you. Yeah, 250 pounds up again. Sorry about that. So, hey, you know, you give me about another 6 months. I'll be climbing up these bad boys. Black tank flush basically cleans out your poop tank. And then you have your 30-amp connection right there as well. Now, the awnings on this side, you'll notice the little black bar there. So that is going to be what they call a slide topper prep. So basically, if you want a slide topper, it hooks into there, attaches over there, and then it's a piece of awning that goes over the top of your slide. and prevents it from really just getting anything into the seals. And I was wrong earlier, they're not the cable driven slides, so I don't know why I said that. But yeah, here's a slide. Everyone always likes to see the slides there. You do have the PSX too. If you're not familiar, it's individual controls for the powers. And then you have the sewer outlet connection here up underneath, along with hot and cold water. Oh, this is not the, sorry, that's up in the docking station. This is just to get to your valves right there. So that's pretty nice. New suspension system, not too educated on that, but they say it's stronger. I don't want to BS you. I'm not really sure. You also have your fresh water drains right there. And then here heading up into the front, you do have your docking station. So you got a couple outlets, hot and cold water in the form of an outside shower, city water connection, fresh water connection, and then your brass tanks as well as your battery disconnect, cable and satellite, and then your solar charge controller so you can see what kind of amperage the solar is bringing in. 8,662 pounds dry with 2,100 pounds of cargo carrying capacity. But all right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. I hope to catch you next time. Again, my name is Hunter. This is the 2025 Alta 3150KBH. Have a great day. See you.